I've been talking about Riverside and how much I love them for a while now, and I've been using them pretty much for my entire workflow. But there's one thing that I haven't touched yet. The one part that actually makes me a little bit nervous, moving my entire podcast over to their hosting. So honestly, I've completely avoided it because up until now, there's been one big issue. And honestly, quite a bit of fear on my part. My first hesitation wasn't even the move itself. It was the analytics. And honestly, the lack of them. But I've heard that they're getting better. Because when you're already up and running, that's a huge risk to take. And yeah, the podcast that I'm about to move is at 56 episodes right now, which does sound like a lot, but it's exactly why I want to do this right now, because it's only getting bigger. But my biggest issue before all of this was YouTube, because the biggest purpose of hosting through Riverside is you can send it everywhere, record, edit, and upload right through Riverside so you don't have to worry about anything. But here's the problem. The moment you connected it to YouTube, it would create a brand new playlist. And instead of letting you use your existing podcast playlist, it would put it in a whole new one. So it kind of defeated the purpose. And that right there was a deal breaker for me. But that's all supposed to be fixed right now. At least, that's what I'm about to find out. Riverside just rolled out the ability to connect everything, including YouTube, and actually send the podcast into the correct playlist. So you don't have an issue with it not going into the playlist that your podcast is already being hosted on YouTube. The promise now is one upload and it goes everywhere. So yeah, I've been all in on Riverside, just not all the way in. So today, I'm putting my podcast where my mouth is. I've never done this before. I don't know how smooth this is going to be, and I don't know if this is going to break anything, or quite honestly, everything. But we're about to find out together. So let's get into it. So right now I'm inside of my Riverside studio. Right here is the hosting button. So here's where we're at. Host your podcast. Host your podcast on Riverside and publish to Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. And honestly, it goes to other places too now. So we're going to import my podcast. Let's find your show. There it is. Analytics for past episodes won't be available, but we'll track new episodes right away, which is fine because I still have all of my analytics from YouTube and my podcast. It's been a slow burn, and I just brought on Crystal 4 months ago. So I'm okay with that, but I will have all of my analytics going forward. So import my 56 episodes. Imported 56 of 56 episodes. It looks like it's just finalizing everything. Okay, it says your episodes are now on Riverside. All 56 episodes were imported successfully. Next step is to redirect your podcast from your old host. Continue setup. Okay, so import episodes is done. It's got a check mark. 2 is the redirect. Redirecting sets Riverside as your host. It can take a while to detect, but we'll keep checking. Learn more. Setup redirect. Copy your Riverside RSS URL. You'll need this to set up your redirect on your old hosting platform. Paste into Spotify for Creators. Go to your Spotify for Creators dashboard and paste this link into their redirect setting. Okay, so I'm in Spotify for Creators. I'm in my settings. And when I scroll down, it says redirect your podcast. So let's go ahead and paste, redirect, and click redirect. Okay. And then we're going to check for redirect. Okay, I'll check back in. This is the only part that's made me nervous so far because it is still spinning saying checking for redirect. But Riverside was already smart enough to put that on there. Redirecting sets Riverside as your host. It can take a while to detect, but we'll keep checking. They've got a little learn more thing here I could click on. It would probably tell me to breathe, but I'm just going to sit here and let it spin and do its thing. The great thing with Riverside's editing is they do have the remove pauses, and I can remove this massive pause while I'm sitting here waiting. Okay, so we're still checking for redirect. This is taking a little bit of time. But again, they kind of warn you and say it's going to take a little bit. So just be patient. I won't lie. Patience is nerve-wracking. Okay, so it took about 5 minutes, I would say. It says your RSS feed is now redirected to Riverside. Riverside is now your podcast host. The last step is to connect your apps. Finish setup. So I want to connect Apple Podcasts. Okay, so far I've connected Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart. I can connect Deezer, but I don't really use them. I might eventually. But here's the big one, YouTube. So let's go ahead and click this one. Connect YouTube. Connecting will automatically upload any new episodes you create. Also upload 56 imported episodes. Don't want that. If your episodes are already, okay, perfect. So leave unchecked if your episodes are already on YouTube. Great. So this might be the new part. I'm not sure. We're about to find out. Connect YouTube. Okay, here it is. Choose a YouTube playlist. Select a playlist where you'll publish your podcast or create a new one. Health, tech, and wellness podcast. There it is. Click on that. Connect. Okay. Okay, so hosting is live. That was pretty seamless. Let's see what happens if I click on YouTube. View on YouTube, and there it is on YouTube. There is the correct playlist. Everything is there. Perfect. Looks good. Now, Riverside also has the option to create a podcast website, and it gives your show a clean home base. Your recent episodes are all there, and people can listen or watch them. And there's even a subscribe option where people can enter their name and email and get updates about your show. And this is the part that really interests me. Because when you're building a show, the biggest thing isn't just publishing episodes. It's owning some kind of connection with your audience outside of whatever platform that they found you on. Now, I still think this website feature has a lot of room to grow. And I'd love to see more customization, more branding controls, and maybe even more ways to connect it into our existing workflow. But for something that's built right into the hosting setup, that's a solid start. And for a brand new podcaster who doesn't have a website yet, this could be one less thing that they don't have to worry about. Okay, so I'm back and I've edited the most recent episode of my podcast, and we're going to jump into Riverside here. Typically, I would download the entire episode, but looks like I shouldn't have to. So let's find out. Here's the exported episode, episode 19, and we're going to jump into hosting. As you can see, it is showing my analytics for the past 30 days. You can do the last 12 months, but currently it's showing zeros because, like we said previously, it's only going forward. That's why, when you do transfer over, at least currently, you don't want to have too many episodes. 56, I think, was just the butter zone where I didn't want to go any further. Let's go into hosting and let's hit create new. And let's go ahead and put my episode title in. And it looks like they do max your title out at 100 characters. So I'm perfectly fine. I don't think anybody's going to go over 100 characters on a title. And it says upload your file if you downloaded it, or you can choose. So this is what I want to try to do. So I don't have to download anything anymore. Let's see. Choose file. And actually it's got it as the most recent one here, export. So let me go ahead and click on that one. And then let's put in my description. Okay, so it says that there's a 1,000 character max allowed. Everything fits. We're good there. Season number 2, episode number 19. And this is a normal episode. Does not have explicit content. And my thumbnail. And right here. Okay, so you got to make sure it's under 2 megabytes, and then schedule. And we will schedule this for Thursday, the 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time and schedule and save. And now, episode scheduled. It can take up to 1 hour for the episode to appear on platforms. After it's published on YouTube, the episode will be set to private until then. Got it. Okay, so here is the episode schedule. All right, so here's my honest takeaway. This went way smoother than I expected. The import worked. The redirect from Spotify for Creators worked. All 56 episodes came over flawlessly. The RSS redirect took about 5 minutes, which probably was my most nerve-wracking part. But Riverside did warn me that it could take a little bit, and I'm just going to be honest, 5 minutes when you're sitting there watching it spin feels like an eternity. And most importantly for me, the YouTube connection worked. It let me choose my podcast playlist instead of creating a brand new one and making me have to worry and jump through hoops. And that's the biggest thing that I was actually waiting for because I want all of my analytics together. If it would have created the new podcast, here's the problem. The analytics for the YouTube side would have been tied to that new podcast playlist and not my current one. So I want it connected to the correct playlist so I don't lose anything. And it all worked. So as of right now, I can record in Riverside, edit in Riverside, have a great, clean show, schedule the episode from Riverside, and send it to my audio platform. Send it to the correct YouTube playlist, all without multiple downloads, and then uploads, and then switching from one platform to the next. That's a big deal. And here's the big question. Is it perfect yet? No. The website still has some growing to do, and I still want to see how the analytics build out over time. But for my workflow, this was the missing piece. My entire process of the Living 95, the way that I live, the way that I fixed my health, the way that I run my business, and the way that I do everything with my podcast, this was the missing piece. And honestly, I said it at the beginning of the video. I was going to put my podcast where my mouth is. And yeah, I'm officially all the way in now. Not almost all the way. My entire podcast, start to finish, it's all running through Riverside. And if you're using Riverside or you're thinking about using it, I'm building out a full Riverside course where I walk you through everything from full setup to all the fun little pieces. Nothing flashy, not some polished, perfect version. The real way that I use Riverside to record, edit, create clips, publish, and now host my podcast. So if you're interested, check out the Riverside course right here. And as always, if you have questions, drop them in the comments because my goal is to take what I already believe is one of the best and easiest tools out there and make it even easier for you to actually use in your own workflow. And as always, stay healthy, stay balanced, and keep driving forward. I'll see you next time.